Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas, switching over to my radio voice. Special episode today with Adam Chadroff, principal at Equal Ventures. And we will be chatting about the upcoming first annual Insurance Capital Summit, May 8th, 2025, New York City.
That's right.
Adam, number one, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So Equal Ventures, I'm assuming it's a VC firm.
That's right. Yeah,
Okay.
start with the basics. We're an
Perfect.
early stage venture
Mhm.
firm based here in New York. We're six people, and we are verticalized across a handful of sectors that we find, really interesting over a long-term
Mhm.
perspective. So we do retail, supply chain, climate and energy, and insurance. And I'm the insurance vertical owner on the team. So I
Perfect, perfect.
spend virtually all of my time, evaluating opportunities across the insurance value chain, and looking for, generational opportunities to really reinvent the industry, and enable the core players across the sector.
Okay, fantastic. So uh, the first annual Insurance Capital Summit by Equal Ventures, May 8th, 2025. Okay. Um, so I found out about it, I don't know, a week and a half ago. Just saw somebody, I think you appeared on another podcast, and I saw a
And
clip of it.
there's quite a bit of LinkedIn traffic. So I'm glad you saw it.
So I saw it and I messaged you, and I am planning to be there. So I'm very excited to be there
Fantastic.
for the first one. So yeah, tell me I mean, for me, it's an insurance slash insurtech event in New York City. Like for me, it's a no-brainer. Like I love going to New York. It's an easy flight from Atlanta. I'm actually coming in and out same day. Just like flying in first thing in the morning, flying
That's
out
great.
last thing in the evening. So yeah, tell me about the vision. How many people are you expecting? Who are the right people that would really benefit from going to this event?
Yeah, well, look, let's start from the beginning. I think we are, like I said, an early stage firm, and we are, um, because of our vertical orientation, we want to do everything we can to sort of build community and connectivity, across our respective sectors. So I think about the summit as an opportunity to bring people together to generate, discussions, networking opportunities, um, that are different from what you might experience at a larger or traditional conference, right? So I think of this sort of opportunity and this sort of uh, event setup, right? It's almost like the anti-conference. It's approximately 250 people, so it's like fairly small. Everyone in the room is meant to be a decision maker, right? So we cater really to three main segments. It's of course, private investors. So across, investors from the PE and venture world that uh, focus on the insurance industry is one big cohort. Growth stage companies, so innovators across the sector. So that may look like, the founders and CEOs of, venture-backed companies that are, making waves across the industry. Um, and corporate executives. So, leading decision makers and C-suite folks from, leading incumbents from across the ecosystem. And we look at this as sort of a unique opportunity to bring those folks together, the legacy players, the innovators, and the investors for conversation and networking. And it's a big enough event that you know, I think people get a really good opportunity to really speak and network and get to meet new folks. But it's small enough that it doesn't feel like being at one of the larger insurance conferences, which are great, but they're just very different, right? We don't have booths. We don't have a big suite of vendors. We have one stage. We have, the day is sort of set up jam-packed with content across different, discussion areas that we think are top of mind. Some are one-on-one keynotes. Some are, three or four speakers with a moderator on dedicated topics. But it's really meant to be very focused, curated content and very focused uh, networking that I think is not often available at these sort of events.
Fantastic. I found it very interesting that it is invite only and free. So why did you decide to go in with those two particular features that are very rare in the insurance conference circuit?
Look, our goal is to bring real decision makers together from across the respective verticals where we do this conference in this case the insurance sector, right? So I think the best way to do that is to invite the people that can contribute the most to the discussion. And we're not looking to make money on this. This isn't a business. This is a connectivity opportunity for folks in the sector. So it's important to us that that we don't charge for admission, and the invitation is really a function of that, right? We're capacity constrained. So the invitations reflect that. We want to make sure that, again, we're filling the room with decision makers, number one, but we also have to balance attendance from across those different archetypes and cohorts that I mentioned, right? Like, of course, we have a fairly deep network in the investing world because of that's what we do. We don't want to have an investor conference that is 100% insurance VCs. I don't think anyone would want to attend that. So I think that's the impetus behind the invitation. And I'll just clarify that invitation it's sort of like an apply and invite, right? It's not that we will reach out to everyone and hand select people. It is that we've been announcing this so much. I think part of the reason you saw it is we're sort of all over LinkedIn and a handful of other channels trying to drive applications from which we will sort of admit the people who can contribute the most or fill gaps in our sort of various demographics across those cohorts.
Perfect. Tell me about the venue.
Yeah, so we're doing it at a beautiful venue in Lower Manhattan in Tribeca, which, without divulging too much information, it's very much it's not your typical corporate venue, I don't think. Although they do corporate events quite often. So think like big glass windows and a beautiful city view. I think you can see the river. So it'll feel it's a very, our intent was to pick something that is like upscale, like feels really nice, has sufficient room and like dedicated speaker and panelist areas, but doesn't feel too cramped. So, we're really excited about this venue.
Perfect. I'm not a New Yorker, but it sounds like Lower Manhattan, basically easily accessible via train for anybody in the bureau in the three boroughs, and for those of us flying in, basically just like fly into LaGuardia, and it's a pretty easy.
Yeah, it's I guess one lucky thing is a lot of insurance folks are actually based here. But yes, 100% for the people who are flying in, it's meant to be convenient. On the west side, perhaps you want to go to Newark, but either way, right? It's easy to get to, and it's a one-day thing, right? We are running straight content from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., followed by a networking reception and a cocktail reception at 5:30 p.m. But it's a jam-packed day, right? It's like people I anticipate will be in and out of it's one stage, so in and out of the presentation area, depending on their areas of interest or their schedule across the day. But it's like back-to-back content, which is something we're really excited about. We want it to be a real. The content is important to us, right? It's not just incidental. We really want to like generate discussions, and because it's a fairly small and intimate group, I think you get our hope, and what we've seen in past conferences is that you really get like a sort of intimate discussion, right? I think people can be a little bit more off the cuff and say things they might not say in a room with 3,000 people and like that where it's on the record. So yeah, we take the content pretty seriously, and we're really excited about the panels that we've set up.
I've got to say, pretty awesome set of speakers from the website.
And you can see on our website as ICS Insurance Capital Summit .equal, like our firm name .vc. So ICS.equal.vc. You can see our full, almost complete lineup of our speakers and keynotes, and it's a super exciting list of again those different cohorts, right? Of leading investors from private equity, leaders of the largest incumbent brokerages and carriers, and a lot of sort of growth stage founders and innovators from the category that we're super excited about.
Fantastic. That makes perfect sense to me. So much so that I'm flying in from
Yeah, I'm
Atlanta
really happy to hear that.
just for the day. So yeah, insurtechs, growth stage insurtechs. Why not? If you're New York based or close to New York, why not? Carrier decision makers. This is by keeping it smaller, it also means that the buyers who are carriers
Yep,
don't get mobbed, which is one of the problems at the bigger conferences where they just get
that's correct.
right. Uh, and so for carrier decision makers, this is probably a more relaxed setting compared to the larger insurance conferences that I do love. And yeah, for investors, it makes perfect sense. And I do want to point out that looking at your LinkedIn, you're not just a VC guy. You come from the insurtech world, right? I don't know if I can say the company names, but you've had significant roles at two significant insurtechs.
Yeah, look, I've jumped around a bit in my career, and this is, I think you nailed it. This is my first actual VC role, right? I've been at Equal Ventures for just over 2 years. Um, and I started my career on Wall Street and in financial services and capital markets. And then after going to B school, I pivoted into operating roles at uh, venture-backed insurance companies. It was, I thought it was a sort of interesting niche segment of, adjacent to fintech, and I wanted to try out some operating roles and like found insurance interesting. It just, I'm sort of dating
It's
myself
a
a little bit, but in that
fascinating industry.
2015, 2016 time, like insurance was like not necessarily even considered investable, right? We're talking like both people talk today about like InsurTech 2.0, which is like quite hot right now, but InsurTech 1.0, where a lot of things, sort of fell out of favor around the time of, the aftermath of COVID and the way the market turned. But I sort of preceded that, right? Like there were questions when I joined the InsurTech world about like whether VCs would even be interested in this and whether it was interesting and big enough. And it was really fun to be part of that ride, to see really great companies get built, and to see, investors and part of the fintech community sort of gravitate towards the sector as, a really big and addressable. And obviously like tons of learnings over that time. So yeah, I spent time at a digital agency, and then spent time at a commercial MGA. So it's really fun to move into a role, um, to invest across the value chain in this sector. And I think that's something part of the ethos of like what made me excited to be such a vertically oriented early stage investor. I'm not like, it wasn't that I was willing to do like all the insurance stuff. I was particularly excited to. So that was part of the fit here.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to point out. Because there are plenty of of VCs out there,
Yeah.
but events just like insurtechs built by people who actually understand the insurance,
Right.
as opposed to just tech people tend to do better.
Hmm.
Also, events put together by people who have ran an insurtech, you guys understand much better what the founders need than conference or companies whose business is to arrange conferences, right? Or even VCs who
I hope that's true. Yeah.
were
And,
never.
and not to say anything bad about those conferences, right? I very much enjoy attending them. They're very important to be
Me,
at.
me, me
This is
too.
just a different type of event. I really, that's why we anchor on the word
Mhm.
summit. Like it's really not a conference. It's a more intimate, uh, just different event. But I think to your point, like we are very dedicated to the verticals where we operate. Um, and I think the best way to uh, be able to contribute to our portfolio companies or to others in the ecosystem is to have and to create that sort of connectivity. So we're always eager to bring people together and to, expand our network, and to help, others in our network similarly expand their networks in this space to facilitate more activity.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today. Looking forward to it. This could definitely become one of the ones that I look forward to every year.
I hope it does.
Yeah, thank you so much
Yeah.
for organizing it and
Thanks,
for
Tony.
coming on the podcast. Looking forward to
And
see you
one
there.
last reminder to everyone, for people who want to be there, we are most of our tickets are accounted for at this point, but like we still are welcoming applications. So if you're able to join us on May 8th in Lower Manhattan, go to our website, ICS, as in Insurance Capital Summit, ics.equal.vc, and you can click on the request an invite button on the site, from where you can just add your information, and we will do our best to get you off that list and get you admitted. And if you have any other questions, you'll be able to submit them there as well.
Thank you so much, Adam.
Cool. Thanks, Tony.